All persons having anything to do before this special court trial chamber draw near and give your attendance. This is the trial chamber of the Special Court of Sierra Leone, held in Freetown, in Courthouse Number 1, on Thursday, 3rd June 2004. Case number SCSL 2004-14. The prosecutor against Sam Ingano, Moina Fofana, and Ali Okondo is listed for trial.
We have the pleasure of inviting the prosecutor of the Special Court to the press room, Mr. David Green, to present his opening statement.
May it please this chamber, Your Honors, on this solemn occasion, mankind is once again assembled before an international tribunal to begin the sober and steady climb upwards toward the towering summit of justice. The path will be strewn with the bones of the dead, the moans of the mutilated, the cries of agony of the tortured echoing down into the valley of death below. Horrors beyond the imagination will slide into this hallowed hall as this trek upward comes to a most certain and just conclusion. The long, dark shadows of war are retreating. Pain, agony, the destruction, and the uncertainty are fading. The light of truth, the fresh breeze of justice moves freely about this beaten and broken land. The rule of law marches out of the camps of the downtrodden onward under the banners of never again and no more. A people have stood firm, shoulder to shoulder, staring down the beast of impunity. The jackals of death, destruction, and inhumanity are caged behind bars of hope and reconciliation. The light of this new day, today, and the many tomorrows ahead are a beginning of the end to the life of that beast of impunity, which howls in frustration and shrinks from the bright and shining spectra of the law. The law has returned to Sierra Leone, and it stands with all Sierra Leoneans against those who seek their destruction. The ghosts of thousands of the murdered dead stand among us. They cry out for a fair and transparent trial to let the world know what took place here in Sierra Leone. The tears of the maimed, the mutilated, and the violated will dampen these walls. These victims, their families, their towns, their districts, their country. Ask all of us here for a just accounting for the agony of those 10 long years in the valley of death. Mankind has stepped back from the brink of chaos several times in the past 59 years. In 1945, civilization gasped in horror at its capacity to cause suffering. Again, in the early 1990s, reacting to the horrors of Rwanda and Yugoslavia, the world joined in a further step away from the abyss, and now, in West Africa, in Sierra Leone, another bold and noble step has been taken away from the grim jaws of the beast. The Special Court for Sierra Leone, a hybrid international war crimes tribunal, gives a new century, indeed, a new millennium, the chance to face down the beast of impunity. Imbued with this new spirit against impunity, as noted in the Rome Statute, which created the International Criminal Court, that during this past century, millions of children and women and men have been victims of unimaginable atrocities that deeply shock the conscience of humanity. And determined to put an end to impunity for the perpetrators of such crimes, the Special Court, on behalf of the international community and the people of Sierra Leone, is now ready to prosecute those who bear the greatest responsibility for war crimes, crimes against humanity, and other serious violations of international humanity. We will most assuredly show you, through witness after witness, what the result of these unjust acts or omissions caused: the murder, mutilation, and maiming of thousands, the looting and burning of entire towns, terrorizing an entire nation. Anytime the citizens of a nation rise up to seek a just accounting for 10 years of painful war, the international community must respond. And it has. Just look around you today. If I may, I will close my portion of this opening statement with a poem from a Sierra Leonean, Sidnella Shooter, published recently in Freetown, entitled Songs That Pour the Heart. It is called My Root in Flames. Massive eruption everywhere, consuming my town and bush, my cherished cradle, my ancestral shrine, all ablaze. I turned around, my eyes catch but a mound of ash, the ash of my kin's sweat. Blood can't quench this fire, weeping through my blood. There is no fame in these flames, but ash that brings pain, ash with a stain, the ash of the slain. This ash that bleeds hearts has nothing on the screen but incinerating Sierra Leone, vomiting and flaring up. Can we read the chronicles of ash and ash in chronicles? When my foundation is raised to cinders and ash weakening hearts, ash withering glories, ash that never buries, atrocities eroding my life. Let justice be done. Your Honor, that concludes your opening statement.
I could give